Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So, as suspected, the Mayweather-Pacquiao news has dominated all of the boxing websites, the news headlines, and so on and so forth. I mean, almost every article on every website is about this fight. Article after article after article. That's what everyone is talking about. And all the way up until May 2nd, that's all you're going to hear about is this historic fight being made. Now, another person who was talking about this fight being made was Steve Farhood. He was talking on the Showtime fight card that took place this Friday. And he said something that was pretty interesting to me. He said, you know, we remember watching the Leonard Hearns, the Leonard Hagler fights. And when they fought, it made the world stop. Well, this Manny Pacquiao versus Mayweather fight is going to also make the whole world stop. And then he said the situation is ironic because the fight didn't happen 5 years ago when it was first mentioned. But now, 5 years later, both of these fighters' names are bigger, and this fight is going to be even bigger than it was 5 years ago. I thought Steve Farhood made some really good points. You know, this fight is very reminiscent of the Leonard versus Hagler fight. Because just like Mayweather versus Pacquiao, that fight was 5 years in the making, right? At the time when everyone was talking about this fight and it was supposed to be the next big super fight, this is when Sugar Ray Leonard said, you know what, I'm just going to retire and I'm not going to fight against Hagler, right? 5 years later, he comes out of retirement and he makes the fight. That is the difference. The other difference is Floyd Mayweather actually tried to make the fight 5 years ago. And it was Manny Pacquiao who turned down the fight. And it was Manny Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach, who, by the way, I have the interview. Freddie Roach admitted that it was their fault that the first fight didn't happen. So that's the difference between Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard. So if Sugar Ray Leonard is known and praised for fighting against Marvin Hagler, even though they fought 5 years too late, then I think the same type of respect and praise is going to apply to Mayweather and Pacquiao when it comes to who will be victorious May 2nd. Right? Listen, clearly both fighters are older. Floyd Mayweather is older than Manny Pacquiao. But yet at the same time, you can't really say, oh man, you know, they're both past their primes now and so on and so forth. You can't really say that when Floyd Mayweather is still pound for pound the number one seed in the entire sport. Okay? I mean, you're not going to say some football team, they've had their better days, but yet they keep winning the Super Bowl every single season. Right? Does that make any sense? Like I said, you fans cannot have it both ways. You can't sit over here and praise Manny Pacquiao because he beat Tim Bradley and saying, you know, Tim Bradley was pound for pound number 3, the best in the world, right? But then as soon as Manny Pacquiao fights against Floyd Mayweather, now you want to say he's past his prime and they're past their prime and so on and so forth. Once again, I'm not trying to say that Floyd Mayweather is, you know, exactly just as good as he was when he fought against Diego Corrales over 10 years or whatever it was ago, right? I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if you are the best fighter in the entire sport, you can't be that past your prime. And if you are past your prime, then I'll tell you what, Floyd Mayweather's past prime is probably better than 95% of fighters that are in their prime, if that makes any sense. Okay? That tells you a lot about Floyd Mayweather. He's 38 years old, and he's beating guys 14, 15 years younger than them in their prime. So once again, if you keep winning the Super Bowl, you cannot be that much past your prime. So I'll close with this. To all you Manny Pacquiao fans that bragged about Manny Pacquiao having a better resume than Floyd Mayweather, he was considered the fighter of the decade and he's an 8 division champion and all of that stuff. I want you guys to understand that he is putting all that on the line right now. What I mean when I say he's putting all that on the line is if Floyd Mayweather beats him, that means Floyd Mayweather, he just beat this guy that held all of these accolades, which makes him the man that beat the fighter of the decade, the 8-time division champion, so on and so forth. And that works the other way around as well. If Manny Pacquiao were able to beat or knock out Floyd Mayweather, you guys would argue that now Manny Pacquiao is the fighter of this era. Now Manny Pacquiao is #1 pound for pound. Isn't that what you guys would say, Pacquiao fans? Well, that's exactly what the world is going to say if Floyd Mayweather beats the quote-unquote fighter of the decade, the 8-division champion. Okay? So just keep that in mind. That's all I got for now. I'm on to the next one.